So the
So
last.
the
Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
so the
ahead.
last time we were talking, when was it?
This was like a month ago.
It was that long
I
ago?
think so.
Oh, okay. We were talking about like sitting in like the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know how like some people go to the bathroom and just like sit there and chill cuz I wouldn't want to be in the bathroom for that long. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just want to do my business, wash my hands and get out.
Right.
But like I know there's people that just like sit there
Mm-hmm.
and like they're on their phones and stuff. Which is cool, but I'm just like I can't do it.
Well, like I'm one of those people who just sit there, and I can't give you like the reason why I sit there because I know it can be gross when you start to think about it because of like you're in there and like let's say you're shitting, like you're obviously gonna be smelling this, but like I don't know, I don't think it like bothers me that much to the point where I'm like I gotta get out of here.
Mhm.
Anyways, so when I was a kid, right? That's just where I think like maybe this all stems from like me being a kid and like being in the bathroom for too much time. But and all my brothers do it. We just like have a habit of spending time in the bathroom. But for me personally, when I was a kid, I had a drawer in the bathroom with all my toys in it, right?
What the fuck? Did your parents know this?
Oh, probably. So every time I would go in to use the bathroom, it was like a new day for these toys, like life. You know what I mean? So like I had built up this story for these toys that like every time I came into the bathroom, this story continued. And I would I would sit down, I would start, and then I would open the drawer and take out these toys and like, oh, like now they're coming back from like the black hole or whatever that they went into. So like now they've entered like a different universe or whatever it is, right? And this whole universe takes place within my bathroom, and this all happens within like a 10 to 20 minute like time span. So
You're
I
so
spend a lot of
creative. Even as a kid, that's so creative.
so like that's how much time I spent a lot of time in the bathroom, just really just doing that. And like these toys were none of them were like had anything in common. They're from different like birthdays, different like
Mhm.
universes in their own, but like in my head, um yeah, like I would just sit there and like have all these scenarios where like they would hop off like the sink and like this would happen if like they touch this or like different things or like a bunch of different shit. And I would just spend 10 to 20 minutes just playing with my toys. And by the time I knew, I was like, oh shit, like I'm still in the bathroom. I kind of have to get out. And so that,
What? Like, does your family know this?
I don't know. I know I doubt it. I mean, I'm sure they've seen the toys and like I don't remember when was the last time I stopped playing with those toys. You know, when you just like stop doing something?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't remember the last time where like I put them in that black hole for the last time. Like that was it. They were gone forever.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? So I don't know if I have not looked in that drawer in like forever. So if they're still there, that's fucking cool. And like I hope they're still there, but I don't
You
think
go
they're still
home,
there.
just
I
take
don't
them
know. My
out.
mom's like, just chingadera. I was like, what is this? Like you just throw it away.
Oh my gosh.
But that's why I spend a lot of time in the bathroom.
Oh, that's very
Nowadays,
innocent of you.
nowadays it's just me and my phone. I don't
Mhm.
know. I find it very relaxing. I mean, I guess you could just like sit in your room and be relaxed too, but I don't know. There's something very private about a bathroom and just having a space to I
Just
don't know,
be
just
by
be yeah,
yourself.
just be by yourself, I guess.
Oh, wow.
But I don't know.
It's
Because
interesting.
I have a lot of time with myself anyways, regardless. Like in my own room. I spend a lot of time with myself in my room. So like I don't know why I feel like I would need that
It's
private
just a
time.
different setting
Yeah, I
that you
guess.
feel like you need. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know about everyone else. Like Jonathan likes to sit there till his ass like it gets numb. Like like that man can sit there for fucking hours.
Oh
But
my god.
yeah.
No, I'm trying to be in and out. Like we got things to do. I always say this. If I didn't have to, because I hate going to the bathroom. I
Mm.
hate doing it because to me, I feel like it's such a waste of time.
I feel you.
And like I hate like when I have to pee, I have like the smallest bladder known to man, and I have to pee all the time. And to me, it is so incredibly annoying. So when I do go, I'm like trying to be in and out. And I always say like if I didn't have to go to the bathroom at all, like I'd be the happiest person ever. Cause like I said, I just feel like I waste my life.
Yeah.
Like, how much time of your life do you spend like going to the bathroom? It's just so much.
I never thought about it until you said that. Like how much
Mhm.
time we spend in there, and like if you can choose to not go, you wouldn't go. I didn't
Mhm.
think about it till you said it, and like now that you put it that way, like I could definitely like I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things that like I wouldn't miss if I didn't have to go.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
because I feel on that.
Hey, young America, we need to talk about something called grass. Not that grass. I'm talking about marijuana.
It's stimulating, mind expanding.
Hello. Okay.
So we had a
Cool.
little slip up.
Early in the episode, we noticed that the
Well, just like
audio.
something happened with the audio. We don't even know
Yeah.
what the fuck happened, to be
We
honest.
don't even know, but it stopped recording. But we're just adding this little disclaimer to let you guys know that we're still gonna put out the episode, just with like the camera audio, even though it's not the best. We feel like the content itself was really good enough to still put it out because we feel strongly about what we said, and we still wanna, give that to you guys.
Definitely. So that'll kick in maybe like 40 minutes in.
Yeah,
right?
45 minutes in around there.
For sure.
So just a
So-
heads up for you guys. But we are going to continue
Right. But thank you guys for understanding. We really appreciate it.
for sure.
Give it for your breakfast.
I actually really love breakfast. I know some people like don't care for it and like don't eat it at all. But I like some good like chilaquiles. We make a lot of that here. What about you?
Like green, red.
We make usually green. That's the
Good.
salsa we have.
Fire. I like a good omelet.
Oh, really? You know how I feel about omelets. I can't eat them anymore. Like I get so
Why?
disgusted. This one time, I was working an overnight at my shitty retail job, and I was doing visual merch, so we had to stay a lot of overnights. And that overnight, I had it with like some of my favorite coworkers. So they were saying, "Hey, let's go when we get done, let's go to this breakfast spot, whatever." And I was like, "Okay." And I was so tired. I know that you know the kind of work schedule that I had, but for those who didn't know, my work schedule was I worked 2 jobs and went to school full time. So I would only ever sleep either at my university or on the train. And I would go from one job to the next and then go to class. And I would very rarely be home. So I was extremely tired.
Like I would see Jackie literally like sleeping in school. Like that's how much time you were just out. Like
Yeah.
just busy.
Like I didn't go home really, so I had a duffel bag. And I lived pretty far, like on the north side. So I had a duffel bag and it just had everything, like all my school stuff, like change of clothes, all that stuff. And yeah, so that day I was like working and then I was extremely tired. Like this overnight went up until like 6 a.m. So we had to like wait a little bit for this breakfast spot to open. And I was feeling really sick. You know how like when you're so tired, like you literally start feeling ill. And I was feeling sick. So
Like your mouth gets all dry and like you get nauseous.
I was so nauseous. So in the morning we wait for this breakfast spot to open, and I never been there before. They had, so they were like, "Oh, get this whatever." So I got an omelet. I couldn't even eat it. I couldn't even smell it because I was so disgusted. And I tried to eat it and I was like, I can't do it. And then I went home and I was like, "Ugh, I just feel terrible." And like ever since then, like I see one or smell one, I feel like throwing up.
What's the word for that?
Oh.
It's like chuke or something. Oh man, I
What?
know I'm like fucking this up, but it's a word for that. Like when you smell something.
Like the asco?
Yeah, but there's like another word for it. I'm not sure what it is. But like that's like my aunt has like if she smells egg, like she'll start to gag.
Oh. No, I don't know the word. I just know it's like asco.
Right. Well, I love a good omelet. But I think it depends from where, because like not everywhere serves like the like good omelets.
Mm-hmm.
A good skillet. I love
Ooh.
skillets, but it
Mm-hmm.
has to be from the right place again. I stopped eating pancakes. I haven't had pancakes in like years,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like a year or two,
I would
maybe 2
rather
years.
have waffles
Oh
than
yeah.
pancakes. I
Mm.
feel like they're more fun. They're more versatile, you know?
For the longest time, I thought French toast. Like I didn't know how French toasts were made, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
like growing up, our French toasts were like little sticks,
Yeah.
and they were like you just put them in the oven and like that was it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that like when you go to a restaurant and you ordered French toast, like it's like actual toast.
Yeah.
And
It's like bread.
right, I didn't know this. I thought it was always like in the form of like sticks. And like I found this out like 3 years ago.
No
Yeah,
way.
dude. And like how it's made with like egg and all that shit. Like
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
not know this.
Do you think that turned you off when you found that out?
No, because I'd still eat it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like
pretty
a good
down
French
to
toast.
I'm down to try anything, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well, that's
once. I'll
good.
try anything once. But
Yeah, I feel that. I think anything once would be okay.
Mhm.
Like, I don't like shrimp at all, but my boyfriend made like coconut shrimp one time and he was like, just try it. And I'm like, I was like, fine. And it was really good. I was like, wow, I'm surprised.
I don't want to possibly stop you from eating shrimp ever again. But
That's
I
okay.
was
I don't
reading
like
this
really eat it.
I was reading this thing that shrimp are basically the cockroaches of the sea. And like how people eat cockroaches? Did you ever try
Wait.
one?
Okay, no.
With some like salsa?
Oh, that's one thing I won't try once.
You
A
don't think so?
cockroach?
I would do
No.
it.
You know how people eat fried alacranes in Mexico? What the
On a
fuck? They're
stick?
they're so wild for that.
I would love to try stuff like that. I don't know. I would only do it once though, and like I feel like when I'm there, I'd be like pussy and like I wouldn't want to do it. But I think like fuck it, like count to 3 and just do it. I heard
Mhm.
cockroaches taste like chicken.
What the fuck?
And they're very high in protein.
There's I know this is very common because my mom does like eating these charales, which I don't know what the little fish name is, but they're the ones that you see at the grocery store, like the Mexican ones, and they're like toasted little
Sardines?
No, I think they're smaller. They're like literally like this, and they're just like toasted. And they're crunchy, and my mom los tuesta on the comal, and then she like eats them, and I'm like, smells funky.
Does anybody in your family eat like chicken feet?
Yeah, my mom will eat literally anything. My dad, he's a bit more like, I'm not gonna eat that.
Yeah.
But she comes from a place where there really wasn't any food, so whatever there was, like she's gonna eat it,
Right.
So there's that.
My mom would tell me stories about how like they would drink iguana blood because apparently it's
Whoa.
very enriching and like
Oh.
good for your health and for your skin.
My mom would eat a lot of hígado. I think it'd be like beef hígado, and so I grew up having like a shit ton of anemia because I was always a very small person, and she would always be like, tienes que comer algo que tiene sangre, whatever, so you can like enrich your blood count, whatever. So she would always try to make me hígado, and I already don't like meat in general. So I was like, no, the smell of hígado being cooked to me is so nasty. It's so nasty. And I'm like, I'm not going to eat that. Be like, oh, just a little piece. No. No. I feel like I'm exposing myself to being a picky eater, but I feel like I'm really not.
I mean, it's hígado, like it's not. I don't like it either.
Yeah. But iguana blood, that's different.
Iguana's good though.
Oh.
She had to bring it back. You can't bring it back like raw. You have to have it cooked already
Oh.
if you're gonna bring it over the border.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
So I tried it. It's It's good. It just tastes like rough chicken. I don't know. I compare everything to chicken, to be honest, but that's what it tastes like.
Hmm.
I've had alligator fingers or crocodile fingers. One of
Ooh.
those. There's a restaurant called Papado. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you ever heard of it. It's like
Mm-mm.
in the suburbs. Where they sell a lot of like exotic, like exotic seafood like that.
Hmm.
But those are
That's where you had
fire.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And they had it like fried with some like sauce. Like, I think it was like some lemon or marinara sauce, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But fire,
Hmm.
really good.
Might have to go. There's this one place in if you guys are from out there, don't roast me because I genuinely really like this buffet. It's like somewhere in the Rockford area. It's called Golden Chopsticks.
Oh,
It's a
golden
buffet.
chopsticks.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna
It
say Golden Corral.
no. No, it's a buffet. I mean, it's grimy. It's a
Mm-hmm.
buffet in Rockford area. So, it's going to be gross. But I love it. I think it's so good.
Yeah.
And I had their frog legs. I think it was like their
Oh
fried
wow.
frog legs, and they weren't that bad. They were okay.
What does it taste like?
I'm going to say it tastes like chicken. It's like the same like texture
Yeah.
for me.
There's a buffet like that around where I live, where I don't like taking other people because I feel like I have to explain myself. Like, it's like you said, it's just a buffet. It's like a shitty buffet, but it's a buffet, and like, fuck
Yeah.
it, you're just gonna go there to eat, and like, you know what you're getting yourself into, and like the people
Yeah.
around the neighborhood know what they're getting themselves into. But if I don't think I could take someone else there because I'm like, like, you know what I mean?
I know. I always tell my boyfriend, like, oh, let's go there. He's like, you're so nasty for that. It's a good place to indulge, They have they even serve like sushi, which I think is
Oh wow.
crazy. I mean, it's not like amazing sushi, it's just like regular. And they also have like a stir fry section where you can like give the guy your
Dude,
plate
there's
and then
always a
they
line there.
Yeah.
Jonathan stayed at that line. Every time he'd go with this fat ass plate, he'd come back, eat it all right, going again.
My parents love it because I remember telling them like, hey, they just stir fry your food,
Mhm.
like, if you want that. And they tried it and they were like, fuck it. Every single time they stay being out there. But they like it.
Dude, one of the buffet that I'm talking about, it's a Chinese buffet.
Mhm.
But one time they were serving horchata, and I
Oh.
promise you, it was so fire, and I was so surprised, and I was like, this tastes really good. And the next time I came, they didn't serve it anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if like they didn't sell enough of it, or I don't know what happened, but
Mhm.
I'm glad I was able to taste it for the one time because it was
Wow.
fire. I was
It's literally all
pleasantly
Mexican
surprised.
guys who work in those kitchens. Like, it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So I was thinking of something over the past couple days that I wanted to ask you. What do your parents view as like a successful version of yourself versus what you view as a successful version of yourself?
Oh. I would say that's completely different from what they see me as where I see myself, because I had a talk similar to this topic a couple weeks ago with my mom, and it was a very like sentimental one where I usually always update my parents of like what I'm doing and whatnot, and my mom was saying it was so sad, like she was saying like, I see myself in you.
Mm.
She's like, I think like everything that you dream of and those like ambitions and stuff, it's what I had. I just wasn't able to carry any of that out. And she was like, I want you to do absolutely anything you want that makes you happy, and I'll help you. She's like, if you feel like you can't do whatever XYZ because of financial things or like anything like that, she's like, I want to get rid of those obstacles for you, because she was like, I see myself in you, and I would want to have had someone to do that for me. And I thought it was so like, it made me so sad because she was explaining how she just had it rough. Like she couldn't afford to have dreams like those because she had to come here and work, you know? And like for her, like her mission was to come here, work, and basically find someone with the same mindset of working and raising a family. So for basically just for stability, you know, because stability was the one thing that she never really had. So that was kind of like her vision for me that I kind of found out about like these past couple weeks and stuff, where she's like, I
Mhm.
want you to do literally anything, you know? She's like, I can see you doing whatever it is you want to do, which is, you know, if you want to grow the pod, you want to get big, whatever, do it. Anything, however you can do it, do it. And I guess the vision for me is a little different because I wouldn't say I have the same like I don't have the same obstacles she did. So I don't have like that kind of drive,
Mhm.
you know? But yeah.
Well, do you feel like if you had those same obstacles, you'd have the same drive? Or would you be too tired to even
I don't even
go
know.
after what it is that
I
you
have
wanna
no
do?
idea. I don't know what I would do if I went through those same things. I don't think I would be strong enough. You know, she had to do it because she had to do it. And I'll never know,
Mhm.
you know?
So how different do you view your version of success versus how your mom sees it then? Like, what do you see for yourself? Let's say this could be in a year or 10 years, but like,
Mm-hmm.
where do you see yourself versus what do you think like your parents think you're going to end up? Because I know your
Mm-hmm.
parents think that you're going to, I guess, like just keep doing what you're already doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain myself, but you
I
know what I'm trying to
was
get at?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess like the question that you were asking about like where do you see yourself in the future, pretty much like compared to how they see you.
Mm-hmm.
I know their whole like dreams and all that stuff was to be here and to have a good job and to have a good family, whatever. But my dream, like I don't really care to have a family. I care to be like financially free to be able to help my parents. So I would say that's pretty similar with them because they kind of also wanted to help their families. So they do what they can, but I want to do more. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
really want to help them out. Like, I don't want my parents to work anymore. So that's kind of where I see myself to get to a point where they don't have to work and I built something up that I don't have to work as hard in the future. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Whereas, like, they know that they have to work every single day. Whereas I want to get to a point where I don't want to have to work every single day and just have this established.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think when you said when your parents like their goal was to come here, work, raise you guys and like be stable here. It reminds me of like my parents and like if that was like if their goal was to come here, figure it out and like, you know, they're still figuring things out, but raise us the best they can. When in their mind do they think like that job is done? You know, because I
Mm.
think their job is done. I think
Mhm.
like they raised us as best as they can and we'll always learn from them. But like now I feel like my parents are probably like stuck and like stunted in growth
Mhm.
because
Because
maybe
right.
they still think like they still need to do that what they came
Mhm.
here to do.
I did see a TikTok of this woman saying like, "Well, pretty much my kids are grown and I the goal that I had, this is her saying this,
Hmm.
like the goal that I had was to keep myself going until I see my child graduate and like be independent." And she was in a crisis where she didn't know what to do anymore.
Mhm.
She was like, what do I do now if I've achieved this already? I don't know what to do with myself. And I feel like my parents feel that, and maybe your parents, where it's like they had this goal and now it's here, and now what?
Mhm.
And to me, it's so scary because I don't want my parents to feel like that. I want them to have other goals, other ambitions apart from us
Yeah.
because they're people, they just had kids.
So I want to talk to you about this, and I think it's important to talk about it on here. So I last week I started therapy, and one of the things that we were talking about is my relationship with my parents, and why I feel so responsible for their well-being, right,
Mhm.
and their happiness. And my therapist was saying that that isn't your responsibility. Like for as much as they've given you and as much as you want to, they like you literally can't help them the way you think you could help them,
Mhm.
right? Like mentally. I felt like I had to disagree because I was like, I don't really believe that because like I feel like if I didn't know what I wanted to do, right? But they were still able to help me kind of figure out what it is that I want to do
Mhm.
after like talking to me and like me seeing from their experiences, like now I know what I don't want to do, and it's what my parents are doing right now,
Mhm.
right? And like their work and like all that stuff. So like I don't know. I think like she had a good reason for what she was saying. Like I
Mhm.
understand where she was coming from, but I don't know. I still feel some sort of responsibility like to help my parents figure out what it is that they want to continue doing in their life.
Mhm.
Even though like I really can't control what they want to do in their life, but like I don't know. I feel responsible for a little like help like for helping them.
Right. Mhm.
But
Like,
I guess I'm just trying to figure out like what's a good balance between like helping them
and you're doing
and
too much.
me doing too much, right?
Mm. Mhm. No, I get it.
Hmm.
It's tough.
Yeah.
So I had a dream literally just this morning, and I woke up and I was crying, and I was like, "Oh my god, this was so intense." And I know for a fact like this has to have meaning. So I immediately got up, like I looked it up, and it was a dream about my mom dying. And it was so heavy. But what I thought was really interesting of the dream is that in the dream I was mourning her loss, but also flashing back to memories that I had with her that I've never had. Like
What?
I never had those memories. Those were like dream memories. And it was like us in the bathroom, like laughing. Like that's never happened, like it was just like weird. So I don't know what that meant. Like I don't know
Mhm.
how my brain could like come up with these like made up memories, but they weren't like far fetched. It's something that I probably would do, that we would do. It just hadn't happened. But I looked it up because I was like, your mom dying,
Right.
that's there's symbolism behind it. And there's a couple different ones. And um see, like some of them is like symbolic of personal transformation. These are the ones that I kind of felt like were kind of more true to me than the other ones. Because another one was like symbolic of death of your maternal instincts, where like you feel like you're losing that kind of like touch of maternal instincts, which I feel like isn't true to me. But one that I really stuck to was symbolic of painful loss. And I'll read it right now. It says, "Mother dying in a dream is often seen as symbolizing a painful memory or a significant loss which you have experienced in the past. This loss can be of passion, a person, or a material thing which you held dear to yourself all your life. You are finding it difficult to get over it and move on. Instead, your subconscious is hinging to the past. The loss is manifested in the form of your mother dying in a dream." And I was like, fuck. I
Mhm.
feel like that was very true because I feel like there's like certain things that I can't let go of, that's like happened to me in the past. And I feel like right now in my adult life, it's coming back. Like this happened when I was like 14. And like why now? I don't get it. I don't get why like all this stuff is like coming back to like affect me now when I'm getting to this point of like somewhat stability,
Mhm.
you know? But there's this other one that says symbolic of personal transformation, where it says mothers are nurturing beings guiding every step of an individual from helping sorry, let me start that over. Mothers are nurturing beings guiding every step of an individual from helping him to take his first step and learning how to interact with others. Until we reach our age of conscious awareness, we significantly rely upon our mothers to help us make our choices. To dream of your mother passing away is symbolic of entering adulthood and the age of maturity where you no longer need to rely upon your mother to guide your life. So I feel like those two go like hand in hand,
Mhm.
because I'm getting to the point where like, I really haven't asked my mom for anything for like a minute, but like now it's like,
Becoming a norm.
yeah. And I don't know. I just thought it was really crazy,
Mhm.
you know?
Did you talk to your mom about this?
No, this just happened today. I'm
Oh
probably
yeah.
gonna call her later. But the whole thing that trips me out is like me having those memories that never happened. Which I thought, I don't
That
know.
gives me goosebumps
Really?
because when I was having breakfast with my mom maybe like a month ago too, and I was having this conversation about her about like our family, and I was like, I believe that. Well, I don't know if I truly believe it, but I'd like to believe it. Is that you go through different lives, but with the same family. So you stick with the
Mm-hmm.
same family, and like the roles can be different. And I was telling my mom like in another life, I could be your dad and you could be my daughter, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like the roles are not just like switched for
Right.
whatever lesson that it is that we need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And when I said that, I could see that like there was some sort of spark in her eye. Like she knew exactly what I was talking about.
Whoa.
And she was talking about how we have this cousin that is now older, and like they think that he's a spitting image of my grandpa, like my mom's dad, and how like he has a lot of the same characteristics of my grandpa. And she was just saying that like she kind of believes it,
Oh,
but
wow.
that's what freaks me out about your dream, is that maybe you are having memories of a past life with your mom, possibly,
Oh.
you know.
What?
Hmm. So that's cool to think about,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I
Dang.
mean, just dreams in general is just so fucking interesting, and there's
What?
so much to unpack there
Right.
because people are like, that's just a second. It's literally a second life of yours that
Mm-hmm.
you don't think exists, but it truly does
Yes,
exist.
yes,
And there's
yes.
so much going on in that dream world that,
Like you spend a lot of time
yeah,
asleep,
right.
for it to not mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'd love to go more into it. Like we could talk about it like on a different podcast
Mm-hmm.
once we like read more about it, but
Yeah.
I
I
think it's
really
super interesting.
I not only want to go to therapy, but I want to find someone that can interpret these dreams.
Yeah.
You know? I think that would be really helpful
Mm-hmm.
because it's just too much. It's too much.
Right.
Too many dreams that I've had.
I mean, you inspired me to like even start
Looking into it.
looking into it and like analyzing them and writing them down,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, there's so much shit that happened in our dreams that we don't even remember it, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Oh, I asked my boyfriend this and he was like, "No, I've never had this happen where I could just be doing regular tasks throughout my day and I have flashbacks to dreams
Mhm.
all the time." And it's like sometimes some that I don't remember and then some that I do, where it's like, why does this come up right now? You know? And they're very detailed, like flashbacks, where it's like, how am I having these flashbacks if this has never happened?
I think that's your intuition.
You think so? I am a Pisces,
100%.
so intuition is
100%.
strong.
I think it's your intuition.
Hmm.
I think if it's like a dream that you remember at like just literally just like that, it's either somebody's trying to tell you something, like somebody's thinking about you. It has to be something. Like this shit just doesn't happen. I don't know. For me personally, I'm sure there is some scientific explanation to all this shit, and like if this makes it to TikTok, I'm sure the comments are gonna go in on me. But I don't know. I truly believe that we don't even know the half of what our dreams contain,
Right.
and like why we have these like strong feelings about them.
I've seen a lot of people on TikTok talk about their own astral projection. Excuse
That
me.
shit's so scary.
Experiences, and I know that it takes so much practice and meditation. I don't have the patience for it, but I want it to happen now. Like I want to do it, but I know that it's a process, and I would really want to do it.
Dude, I think you should. I think you're like on the brink of really having like full control of your dreams.
That's what. Oh, I tweeted that out one time
shit.
when I was like, literally, I'm on the cusp of being able to be aware in my dreams, but I'm not there. The other day when we were moving, my boyfriend was like, "Don't fall asleep," because he was doing one more trip with the last stuff, and I was up since like 4 a.m. and it was like really late, and I sat down on the bed. I was like, I'm gonna just rest my eyes just a little bit, and I could feel myself drifting away, but I was awake, and it was the first ever time where I felt this, where myself, I was talking to myself saying, "You're falling asleep. Don't do this." Because he's gonna come back, and I would like wake up. I would just open my eyes and be like, okay, but then it would happen again, and it was just like very back and forth. And they're like, "Oh, you're doing it again," and I was like, "What the fuck?" But I fell asleep.
Yeah.
But I was like, "What?" I thought it was so crazy, but I'm like right on the verge. I know I am.
Like 2 or 3 nights ago, I had a dream, a crazy ass fucking dream. I've seen people like again, like I haven't seen in years, right? And I think Pedro was in this dream. And I remember telling Pedro in this dream, I'm like, you're dreaming. I specifically told him like you're dreaming. But like for the life of me, I couldn't tell myself that I'm dreaming. Right?
Oh,
So I was like telling him you're dreaming. But I was aware of me telling him that he was dreaming. And I was trying to tell myself that I was dreaming because I'm like, okay, cool. Like I finally made it to the point where like I'm kind of conscious of my dreams. I've been waiting for this moment, and I couldn't break past that. Whatever that is at that wall.
You're trying to tell Pedro to tell yourself that, but like Pedro wouldn't like snap out of it.
Maybe.
Wow.
But I didn't experience anything like, I know people usually say like when you tell someone in your dream that you're dreaming, that like the people in the dream become
They're like, wait, don't
yeah,
do that.
Because like what if someone walked up to you right now and like, Jackie, you're dreaming?
I would probably pass away. I'd be so scared. Oh, one thing that really this kind of reminds me of is the episode of Black Mirror of I forgot what it was called. Oh, the couple that they keep going through these cycles of being together, and in the end, like they do end up being together, but that's because like they went through an entire lifetime of going through the same cycle.
I don't remember this episode.
I'm gonna look it up. I know you guys know what I'm talking about.
Quick little intermission as Jackie's looking that up. If you haven't checked out the Discord right now, come check it out. I think it's really cool. I think it's growing every day, and we're, still adding a lot of stuff to it. So, and yesterday we opened up the channel for questions. So we're gonna go into some of the questions later on in this episode. But if you'd like to ask some questions or possibly suggest some topics for us to talk about, feel free to hop in there. let us know. We're gonna be opening it every like Monday evening around there for like 2 hours or so. So if you haven't yet, come check it out.
Okay, so the episode is called Hang the DJ. It's season 4, episode 4. And it's about that like program where people end up going to find their perfect match.
Oh yeah. I remember
Yeah,
which
and
one it
then
is.
these people like do the most to like end up being together after like years and years of going through a bunch of like these relationships. And then towards the end, they like break that whole wall and like they're finally together. And then at the end, you can see that they've been through all the same scenarios their entire lives. And that's what that kind of reminds me of, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's crazy.
Do you have a favorite Black Mirror episode?
It would either be that one because I really like the idea of it, or White Bear.
Which one was White Bear?
It wasn't called White Bear. I'm pretty sure it was called White Bear. The one with like it was called White Bear, season 2, episode 2, where the girl wakes up. She doesn't know where she is, but she's going through the like basically like a game, you know?
Or
And
she's being
and
followed by people, like taking pictures of her?
She's the exhibition.
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy. I was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
They're good ones.
You know, remember the space one? It
Um,
was like, it might have been season 1.
space.
Where the dude
the
has them
Star
in like this
Trekky
world.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one felt like such a fever dream to me. I don't
You
know
think
why, but
so?
it bothered me. I don't know what it was about it, but I was so
It was
unsettling.
because no one had genitalia. Everyone was like a Ken doll. I thought that was so funny. But I really like that actor, the actor that played the main guy, who also played Todd in Breaking Bad. I think he's a really good actor.
My favorite episode would have to be Black Museum. Was it Black Museum? The last of season 4?
I like when shows really tie in other episodes into like a single show. I like that one.
I like the experiment part of it. Because even though like it is fucked up, but like there has been a lot of experiments that like we probably don't even know have happened, but have helped obviously like with like development in other ways. Like I heard that the U.S. bought case files from the Nazis from Germany
Oh shit.
on the events that took place during the concentration camps, like how the body reacted to being set on fire, or like how the body reacted to like this and this and that, like horrendous shit, like terrible. But the U.S. bought all this information and like case studies, so like they used it for medicine and like whatever else.
Oh my god.
So even though like obviously it's very terrible, I like to read about it because I don't know why I like to read about it, to be honest, but I think it's interesting.
I did my 8th grade presentation on Auschwitz, specifically and I still remember this was like a while ago, but it was specifically about the testing on humans that the doctors would go through with the prisoners, and it was just some crazy shit.
Wow.
And it was like hard to listen to, but like I went up there and presented it, and the teacher, this guy, I'm pretty sure this guy was racist, but he wasn't asking anyone else questions about their topics or anything like that, but I went up there and spoke what I knew because I looked this shit up, and he was asking me questions like, oh, so like how many people like died here, like this and that. Like he was really trying to quiz me on this. I'm like, why aren't you quizzing everyone else? But I had all the answers to every single question that he asked, and he was like, okay, you can sit down, and I was like, fuck you. But yeah, I also think it was like really interesting learning about that.
He just like low-key gave himself up That's like he was like, why was he being such a hater towards you?
I don't know.
You know?
And like dude, he hated the Mexican kids in that class. Like I remember one of my boys, he would always get kicked out of his class. And I get that my friend was kind of like a little shithead. Like he would just be like a smart ass. But like he was a really smart kid. He is a smart kid. But he didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like that at all.
Man, I mean that whole discussion about like teachers being in that sort of position and like being shit people is like.
Like you should not be a teacher. You're scary.
Yeah.
Like just knowing that like I have this power over this child,
Yep.
that's terrifying.
During RMU, did you ever go to the, maybe this is just like for business classes, but they had us go to schools to like, not even tutor, but to like give a presentation about their options in like college and shit, I
Oh
guess.
no.
And like talk to them about business and like how taxes work and all that shit. You never had to do that?
Nah.
So I had to do that until like maybe like 5-6 times. And I would go to all the different schools, and I remember having a conversation with one of the teachers that there's a reason why you don't see a lot of white teachers in these schools. It's not because they don't want to hire white teachers, it's because white teachers, this is like a general assumption, but like not all white teachers obviously, but like the majority of white teachers who end up working at that school feel like they have to be there to like start their career or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they end up hating these kids because they don't know how to
Talk to them.
how to talk to them because they can't relate to them. They don't know what it is they're going through with their day, and so they're forcing these kids to be in this classroom and like forcing them to listen when like how could they have so much shit going. They have literally problems that the teacher has to deal with that they're dealing with, and like they're
not equipped for it.
Right.
And there's also another reason like why some of these white teachers do go to these like low income schools, because they have this idea, this notion of like a white savior.
It's a savior complex.
I'm gonna go over here and save these kids, and you know I'm gonna change the school, turn it around. Like, no, you're not. But no, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, they're not equipped for stuff like that, because a lot of kids in like lower income, like what are you gonna do when like you know that your child, that are like the students, like they don't have food at home, you know, or like they don't even have a place to stay. Their home life is unstable.
Yep.
Like you're gonna say it's too much, and you're gonna leave. These kids don't have the luxury to do that, you know. And school is like one of the places where they feel the most safe, because they at least get one meal a day, you know, and they have a roof over their heads for 8 hours.
And things to do, and things to learn, and
No, I get it.
But I don't know, it's sad to hear about like your situation, because like that teacher was probably a shithead, and he probably still is a shithead. And there's kids today who are still dealing with these people who we're supposed to trust, and I don't know, I think like that's like the first instance of when we see that adults like that we're supposed to trust and like they're going to teach us like the
they're gonna be good people to us, and then they're not.
And like that's like the first sign of mistrust. You know, and then like that alone, I'm not even sure what that does to the development.
Oh,
you know,
a lot.
Kids, but I'm sure it's nothing good.
Right.
So shout out to all the teachers
who go into the profession that actually care about children and their futures and want to do all they can to be the best kind of teacher and educator that they can be.
And I get it. I truly do get it. I know it's not an easy job at all. I myself can't do it. I don't have the patience for kids, and like I don't think I could be in a classroom with 30 fucking kids who all need your attention. Like that must be exhausting.
Right.
But I don't think it means I don't think you should be a terrible person to these kids.
Right.
Because a lot of the kids that people or that teachers think are bad kids, like, you know, they're just going through some shit. Like you're not just acting out just to act out.
Right.
So I don't know. I think there just needs to be a lot of help with stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
more resources, definitely.
A lot
Like
more
teachers
resources.
do not get paid enough for the jobs they.
And that's very true.
Yeah. And like I think parents expect these teachers to be like their babysitters. You know, there's also a level of like, do what you can to raise your kids, and then like for school, like these schools can't raise them as much as you think you would want them to.
Yep.
You know, so.
Let's go into some questions.
For sure. Let's see. So these are some of the. Sure. These are some of the Discord questions that you guys have submitted. Thank you to everyone who submitted. We really appreciate it, and we're excited to start this this segment of the pod where you guys get a chance to ask some stuff so we can answer. Let's see. So Stevie asked. Oh, thank you. Stevie asked. Let's do the second question that she asked. Worst customer / client you have dealt with?
I think the worst experience that I've had is when I was, I've talked about this guy before, but I was shooting Ginsas like 4 or 5 years ago. And like for a minute, like it was decent income. Like you can make a lot of good money doing that. But it's my God, dude, it's long ass hours. You're with them from like 10 in the morning till fucking 10 at night.
Damn, you end up being part of the family.
Dude, you know how many families would like offer us to like drink with them and like, here, like, you know, don't worry about their hair, like sit down and eat. Like oh my God, bro, I've met so many nice people.
Aww.
But it's not the families that make it, that made it suck. It was the guy I'm working with. Cause like he wouldn't, well first he still owes me money. Which at this point, he's not gonna pay me, like I've already gotten over that. But the way he was trying to, like, at the end of it, when he was telling me, when he was like, oh, you good?
You're like looking up my hand. That's okay.
When he was trying to get the last pictures out of me, and I was like, I don't know, dude, like, you know, the last time you took like 2 months to pay me.
Oh shit.
And like, I'm just not trying to go like that. And he had begged me to take these pictures for him. Because I was done at that point. And he's like, come on, like, just do this one more time. I'll even throw me like an extra like $100. Like, it's gonna go smooth, I promise. Just do this one favor for me. Mm-hmm. And me, I'm just like, oh my God, you know, like, I guess, like, okay. But only because he said he'd pay me more money, which is like cool. So I took the pictures, and then he was just being very like, what's the word? Like, not sneaky, very
shady.
Yeah, very shady. There, he's just being very shady with it, and was like, I'm not gonna send you the money until you send me the pictures, because how can I trust you? Now what the fuck? Like, I have not once gave you any sort of reason to for you to mistrust me. Like, I've always given you these pictures like right on time. Like, I'm the one who should be
doubtful of you.
Right, exactly. And he was just like, no, like, how can I really trust that, like this and that? I'm like, and I was like, look, I was an ass. I mean, I'm still an asshole, but like less of an asshole. But I was like, look, I don't want to deal with this. And every day that you don't send me the money, I'm going to delete your picture.
That's so petty. That's funny.
Like, I'm just gonna keep deleting them, and I don't really care. I just want the money. Like, I thought this was like, you know what it is. I didn't delete anything. I felt bad for the girl because she wasn't gonna get her pictures.
Oh yeah.
And he never sent me the money. And the last I found out, obviously he was getting
he's getting arrested.
He's getting sued.
Oh. Hey. He's in jail right now.
He has a podcast. But I mean, I've dealt with my fair share of shitty clients and customers, but that experience has always like stuck with me. And like his studio was in Little Village, so like I would pass it and just like, oh, this motherfucker. Like,
gonna break his fucking window.
He's not there no more.
Oh.
But yeah.
I've worked retail for a good amount, going on maybe 8 years around there, somewhere, very long time. But this isn't probably like the worst, but I would say it's the one I remember. where I was just a cashier, and this guy came in and was like, hey, I have to return this. My wife wants me to return it. And it was, this was really funny, but it was a pair of like these really ugly ass shoes. And like the shoes were meant for like, it was like very kid-like, you know, it had like rainbows on it, whatever. She bought it, but what was funny is that I later found out that she had come in before and she was an influencer. And that she was like a Chicago like influencer, and that she had like an IG with like her kids, and that it was like pop whatever. And I was like, that's kind of cringe, like, oh cool, but whatever. And she was returning these shoes because whatever the reason. So we can't do returns, or like the store couldn't do returns if you paid with PayPal, because like it was like through a third party like payment, whatever. So we would always say the return label goes with you in the box, and then if you have to return it, just ship it back with the label. And the guy came in and I looked at the stuff and I was like, oh, did she pay with PayPal? And I looked at the paper and it said, yeah, like PayPal. And I was like, hey, like I won't be able to do it, but the shipping label is here. You can send it back if you need another box, like we can get you one. And he was like, what do you mean? And you could tell that he was scared of his wife. So he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, well, she paid with PayPal. Like, it's in the rules, the policy. And he was like, go, like, no, whatever. Like, go ask the manager. Like, I asked the manager. She was like, yeah, you just have to send it back. And he called his wife. And he made it seem like I didn't want to return the shoes. Like, she's saying she can't return it, but like he was shifting the blame on me so he wouldn't like get in trouble. Because like I said, he sounded like he was scared of his wife. So he was getting all pissed on the phone and whatever. I was just standing there like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm sorry. But he like grabbed his shoes and he was like, this is ridiculous. And he's like, I can't fucking believe this. And then he started walking out. I was like, okay, bye, like have a nice day. And then he started yelling back. And I love confrontation. So he was like, whatever, like this. And I was like, okay, like bye, have a nice day. Like louder and louder as he was like exiting. And he left like so mad. And my manager, my supervisor who was there, got really tense. She was like, oh, you're so brave. Like, I don't know what I would have done. But I was like, what was he gonna do? Like, kill me?
Right.
Exactly.
Oh. People are such like, oh man, people who treat like retail employees like that, oh my god, they bother me a shit ton.
Like, dude, I mean, I really well could have done the return, but he was like just a bitch to me. Mm-hmm. So what was funny is that a girl, not even like an hour later, came in with the exact same issue. She came in, she bought something, wanted to return it, paid with PayPal, and she was very understanding. She was like, oh, I didn't know that, that's okay. She's like, I just don't have a box. And I was like, don't worry, like, we'll get one to you. I came up to her, like, came up with a new box, and then I even gave her, like, some free stuff. Oh, and she's like, oh, like, you guys are so cool. And then she left, and I was like, you treat me nice, I give you nice things.
Yeah, right, like, how hard was that to do?
But, yeah.
You seen those videos popping up with this one girl on TikTok where she's trying to fight her fear of rejection, so she goes into like different places asking for tasks, asking to do things that like regular people won't do. And she walked into like her supermarket or like Walgreens or whatever it was, I think it's CVS, and she was like, I want to go in there and I want to make an announcement on the speakers. And so she went inside and she was very nice about it, like, hey, like this is my intention, this is what I want to do, is that possible? And she was just like being very like nice about it. And when you communicate with people like and you're being nice about it, I feel like you can get almost
you get further.
Right.
Yeah.
But since dude was so scared He was like,
his influencer wife.
Mhm.
Damn. I was like, no. Next question. Let's see. Do you wipe back to front or front to back? Or a bidet? I'm not rich. I don't have a bidet.
I want to get the day.
The little attachments.
Mhm.
I would have to say front to back, because anything else would be unhygienic.
Right.
Would you rather be able, this one's from Juanito the boy, would you rather be able to speak every language or speak to animals? Why?
Just I love Teen Titans growing up, and like Beast Boy was like that was my
That was your
dude.
guy.
Yeah, so and he could speak to animals. I was like, oh, that's fucking raw. Like I want to do that. Like I could already speak to people as it is. You know what I mean? It's like yeah.
I understand that, where it's like, I can learn a language, you know,
Right.
but speaking to animals, that's
Mhm.
different.
Like people who do like bird calls, bro. That is so fucking cool. Like that's so telling me that's not the rawest thing you've seen.
That's cool.
Like
That's
there's like 40 fucking birds. Like bro, that's fucking insane.
That's funny. All right. This one is from Stevie again. Is college a scam? Yes.
Next question.
Next question. The worst thing a friend did to you. This one's also from Stevie. I have one where it was the only friend falling out that I ever had, and that was like a year after high school. Like we were out of high school, and I had two friends. Well, I had my group of friends, and two of them, one who was like my best friend, she was coming back from California, and this other girl, oh, you know what? This is the boy crazy girl that I mentioned in another episode. She was always there, and we would always hang out. And my friend from California, she was coming back, and we wanted to get together, but it was just like me and her, like, oh, like let's hang out, whatever. She got there, and we met up, and then me and her, like, it was never our intention to have any sort of like gathering, because we were just hanging out. So she was like, I think both of us, we wanted to smoke. So we hit up one of the boys from the group, and we were like, hey, do you have any weed? Whatever, let's smoke. And he was taking forever to reply, so we hit up another guy in our group, and the guy said yes, and he was gonna pull up. So the other guy who said, oh no, like I don't, but still let's hang, or like let's meet up or something, he ended up getting to that house like hours later. Like me and my friend were hanging out, and then the guy with the weed, our other friend, pulled up, and he was also there. So we're like, oh, like group is kind of here, right? But this wasn't like on purpose. And then someone invited someone else from the group, and then they pulled up, and then we started thinking it was funny, and they started texting everyone. Maybe I hit up someone, I'm sure maybe I did, and was like, hey, pull up, hey, pull up. In the end, the whole group was there, but that girl wasn't, who was our friend. But this was never like my intention. This wasn't planned. So I was a big Snapchatter back in the day. So this was such a funny thing. Every time someone pulled up, I would like record it, like, oh my gosh, like someone else pulled up from the group. And mind you, everyone else in that group is also friends with this girl. And in the end, like, she didn't end up going. She wasn't there. But she did see everything. And it was a thing that kind of got blown over, where she was blaming me for that. She was upset because I didn't invite her.
Why was that placed on you?
That's what and when we had the whole like thing that blew over, that was something that she kept saying, like why didn't you invite me? But then I kept telling her, why is this on me? Like, every single one of your friends from the friend group was also there, and they didn't hit you up. So like, why me? Me specifically? And then she kept saying like, oh, you don't like me? Like, you have a vendetta against me? Something like that. And I was like, not really. Like, it just wasn't my intention for this entire thing to happen. But I could see how maybe you would get that if I was Snapchatting all of this, you know? But still, I don't think the blame was on me because everyone was there and no one bothered to also message you.
Right.
So then she got her friend involved, and then they both like came at me, and it was just like a whole thing. She made me look like a bad guy, pretty much. But I'm like, it wasn't a thing that was like really supposed to happen.
Right.
But yeah, that was pretty much it.
That was like you feel. What did you feel? Like when they come to you, like were you surprised, or were you just like, what the fuck? Like this is.
I could see it coming just because I felt like the energy was different, and like after, and then like that whole thing blew over, and I just kind of felt like I think the friendship was also getting a bit toxic, so I was almost like relieved after, where it was like I don't have to really worry about them or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the only ever friend I've had a falling out with. Every friend I've kept, every single one of them, up until now. Like they're still my friends today.
Right.
You know. So next question.
Next question.
Let's see. What's the best piece of advice a family member has given you? This one is also from Juanito.
When I was failing my classes and doing really bad in high school, the conversation I had with my dad in the basement, like he basically telling me, you either pick working in a factory or you pick doing better, like right now, because I can take you out like tomorrow and you just work with me. And I know like this is like a threat that parents make. Like I guess my parents are like, you know, you guys, I don't want you guys living the same life as we did basically. But I felt like this time he was serious about it, because it wasn't
something
like
in his tone.
He wasn't yelling. He was disappointed, and like that's how I was like, oh, like I fucked up. Like I fucked up.
Like that one really hurt.
Yeah, because I knew he was serious. Like that's how I was like, okay. So even though it wasn't like advice, I think what I took from it was, I mean, you really do control like kind of what happens in your life. You can either choose to like keep doing what you're doing or change for whatever reason you want to change. But yeah, without that talk, I don't know where I'd be today.
He scared you straight.
A little bit. I was like, ooh, have to get one. I'm also not running out of time. Like in high school, you only have a certain amount of time, and I was doing all that like freshman year. Oh, and kind of sophomore year, but like not as much. But I was like, ooh, I'm kind of like, I have to make a decision right now, basically.
Yeah. I think for me was it was also pretty recent. So, and it's like one that I remember, like my parents have given me other advice, but this one's I guess like the most recent, and it was like when we went to Mexico this past February, and he would say like, be a giving person, but keep people on a tight leash. So he gave me that advice after I had gone with them to Mexico, just me. So I got to experience things more independently from my parents within the entire family. So because they always see us as kids. So this time, like, people would see me as an adult. And when we went over there, whatever, and some distant family, they got a little comfortable, you know, and they kind of started insinuating that, hey, like, let me borrow money, like, stuff like that. And I told my parents that when we were on our way back, and my dad got upset because he was like, there's no reason they should be, like, trying to talk to you like that, whatever. But he would tell me, like, you're quickly, now that you're older, you're going to realize that some people want to take because you give. you know, and you should be giving, but you should keep them on a tight leash, because that's what he's like. After a while, like, you just know, conoce las mañas de la gente that you know. So he gave me an example about like some of his brothers and how in the past he's very much helped them, sent them money so they could afford whatever it was, and then they just wouldn't pay him back. They'd keep wanting more, but that was it. Like, they weren't gonna do anything in exchange. So, and also there's like failed projects that they failed to like bring to life, and that was the reason my dad was sending money. So he's basically like, some of them are cut off completely, and others I'll only give them like a certain amount. Like, they're on a tight leash. Like, you fuck up once more and you're done. And he's like, that's just how you have to be, you know? And you can't be, you have to be like set in your word.
Right.
Like, when you say no, like, you're not going to do it. You're not going to send any more money. Not because you feel bad or like whatever. Like, you have to be set in what you say. Keep your word. Yeah. Let's see. This one is also from Stevie. You guys have good questions. If you were to have your own McDonald's meal, like for example, the BTS meal or Travis Scott, what would it be?
Man.
I can go first. I would do a 10-piece chicken nugget, and then a large Coke. It's gotta be large, and then large fries with ketchup. Just regular ketchup, no fancy sauce.
What about sauce for the nuggets?
That would be the sauce for the nuggets. Just
Ketchup?
Yeah. Is that boring?
A little bit. It's okay though.
Because I don't really care for McDonald's sauces. Like, I would care for like other, like Wendy's barbecue. Like, that was really good.
Oh really? I don't think I've ever had Wendy's barbecue.
Or like Chick-fil-A's like Chick-fil-A sauce. Like, McDonald's is just like regular. So I would get ketchup.
I don't like barbecue like that, but I do like McDonald's barbecue. I don't know, there's a taste to it.
I tasted it. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's like the best, but it's good.
But I would say like my meal would have to be a spicy McChicken, fire, small Sprite, you know.
Okay. Got the
spicy
Sprite.
I don't need the large. And like a 4-piece like chicken nugget. Dude, for the longest time in high school, I think like all junior and senior year, I would just be at Wendy's for lunch. And
I think you told me that.
Dude, I'd always get I think it was like 2 6-piece spicy chicken nuggets. The $1 like crispy chicken sandwich at Wendy's, which isn't as good as the McChicken, but it's alright. Like, for $1, like, fuck it. And a Frosty. That was my order every single time, and it came out to like less than $5, dude. It was awesome.
Oh wow! You went in there; they knew. They had your meal in hand. Oh my god! Let's see. Oh, speaking of Coke, this is a little funny story. So I had a friend in college. It was like one of my first friends that I made at RMU, and we became friends pretty quickly because we were in the same program, which meant, and they did a lot of like block scheduling. So we would have the same classes every single day. So let's see. Oh, so we became friends, and she would come in with her, you know, like the things where you drink coffee out of, your
thermostat.
Yeah, your thermos. Not the thermostat. The thermoses. So she would have that. She'd have the big ones, or she would have like those water ones where you could fill it up.
And those fat ass like 5-6 liter.
And one time I was like, "Oh, let me get a drink," and she was like, "Okay." And it was Coke, and it was 8 a.m. I was like, "What? Is this why you always drink in here?" She was like, "Yeah." It was a little concerning, I'm not gonna lie. It was...
As soon as that would hit my lips, I would be like... No, what the fuck? I would not expect that at all.
I know. Oh my god. She's awesome though. Let's see. What brand of coffee did your family use?
Growing up, man, I think what did you say it was, like Bustelo?
Bustelo
I remember the yellow
can.
but now they use like a clear glass. I don't even know the name, to be honest with you. It's like it's a mix of like Cuban and all this other stuff. But I don't know. How about you?
So growing up, we weren't allowed to have coffee because my mom was mostly like, that's bad for kids, like this and that. It elevates your blood pressure. It's bad for your heart. That's what she would always say. But my grandparents would always drink coffee, and they would drink just a regular Nescafe. And they would have like the huge one, right? And every single time my parents came over, like they would have a mug of coffee. Everyone would have a mug of coffee, and my grandparents would sometimes like give me a drink, and I'd be like, like this is so good, but also they would just drink it black because they were old, and I was like, ooh, it's a little bitter, but it was my grandpa's. It was one of the things that my grandpa did every single time, and he would always have a cup of coffee. And I remember like the last time I ever saw him, we were here, and he lived across the street, so I visited him one time, and it was a little bit after I sent him a handmade print that I had made and mailed out to my friends. I sent him one, and it was a little like after everyone got those cards or whatever. So I know for a fact he got it, and you probably saw it. But then I went over there, and we had like one good cup of coffee. And like me and my grandpa, we never really talked. He was not a talking man. So we left off talking about my grandpa. Just to finish that off, one of the last times that I had to be with my grandpa, we enjoyed like a really nice cup of coffee, and it was just a really nice memory for us, or for me to have, like having it been one of the last times that we got to enjoy each other's company, and especially doing something that we loved doing. You know, he wasn't a talking guy, but the moments we spent together they were really nice. Okay. Let's see. The next question was from Melita Mami on Discord, and we went with the second question. What auras / vibes do you guys think you give to new people or people in general?
So I like to believe that I come off as very cool and collected, and like I come off very confident about myself. I also know that I have resting bitch face, and this is something that I try to work on when I'm outside in public, because even though I look pressed, I'm not pressed.
You're
I'm
just
probably just
chilling.
like in my head, like thinking whatever,
Or thinking absolutely nothing.
right? And like trying to like pick some shit out of my teeth, so I'm making some stupid face. But I don't know. That's how I believe I come off to as people. How I actually come off as, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like people genuinely think like I come off like I'm very chill, I guess.
That's good.
How about you?
I remembering back to what I said was, I hope people see me or perceive me as someone who's determined. What was the word I used earlier?
Ambitious.
Ambitious. An ambitious person. How I think I come off to other people, I think I said quiet. Just a quiet person and stuff. Reserved. Right. But I feel like once you get me talking, once you like, you know, get comfortable or whatever, like I'll just open up.
Definitely. Yeah.
For sure. Let's see. The next one is from, I think we said it was Sileman. How? I don't know. But favorite song to karaoke or to sing in La Peda at 3 a.m.? So my choice would have to be the song that I could karaoke because I know front to back would be Miserable at Best by Mayday Parade. It's a really easy song, but it's really good too. It's such a good song. And then for La Canción para la Peda would be Tragos Amargos, which I feel is pretty basic, but it's a
You
really
can
good
sing
one.
it with
Yeah,
like
you can
everything
sing
you
with
got.
heart, you know? It's
feel
good.
that. I feel like my karaoke song, which I picked, we were talking about this earlier, but I picked the Millie because like I know like deep in me,
You
like
have
8th
it in
grade
you.
Jason like knows like if I had to put money on it, like gun to my head, if I had to recite lyric
to
for
your head.
lyric, like that would be the song that I know I could deliver
Aw.
pretty well.
I could also deliver Not Afraid by Eminem, but that's for another day. Let's see. The next question was from Jackie. So I asked in the Discord what her name was because her Discord name is dumbfuck. And sometimes Jason and I discuss the Discord questions, and sometimes Jason's like, "Oh, who said that?" or "Who posted it?" And I can't just keep saying like, "Oh, dumbfuck posted it." So I asked her name. Her name is Jackie.
Oh,
So
God.
her question was, what's y'all's favorite food / dish to eat as a kid?
Ah, fuck! I forgot what I had said for this.
Your mom's green spaghetti.
No, that's a dish that I would eat.
Oh, for the rest
for
of your
the
life.
rest of my life,
okay.
right? But the dish that, because I was a very picky ass kid when it came to my food,
Mhm.
the comales on 59th.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
the one that's just not there anymore. But if you ever remember that comales, it was the best one. They don't make it like that no more. So unfortunately, if you still eat there, you're overpaying for your shit because that shit's overpriced and it's not worth it. But
Damn.
anyways, whenever we'd go to the comales after church, I would order a torta with the milanesa with just cheese and cut into 4 pieces. Like it had to be cut into 4 pieces.
Wait, the torta itself or the cheese?
The torta.
Oh.
Like just you have 4 little triangles
One
and
of those
shit.
fucking little finger food sandwiches. What, with just cheese?
Bro, just cheese. And
They
I ate
put
it like
a
that.
whole lot of shit on it. Like, how do you just get cheese?
I don't know. I just got cheese
They're
on
like
it.
this childish ass kid.
I mean, I was 8. But for the longest time, I ate it like that. And I stepped out of my comfort zone because in high school, right, I was trying to impress this girl. This is like freshman year. And I was like, because she had asked for a bite of my torta. We were out like at TBK at Lane. And I was like, ooh, like she's about to have this dry ass torta like with just cheese on it. Like, bro, like how
No.
embarrassing, right? And she didn't mind it. She
Stop.
genuinely was like she didn't care, right?
Mhm.
But like me being myself, I was like, fuck, like I gotta step out of my comfort zone a little bit. And so the next time I went there, I ordered with everything on there, and I just stuck with it. And then I got used to trying new stuff and like just being like, fuck it, let me just try it.
But I mean, like having it with everything, like, was it still good? Like, good?
Oh
good?
yeah, definitely. No, dude, that's how I ordered today. I just put everything on it.
Mhm. Yeah, because I think I would still roast you if you still had the childish meal. Oh my god. I chose my mom's enchiladas when she makes it with like all the toppings and stuff, which she does the potatoes and carrots, like the fried and the salsa, and then the cheese, and then the crema, lettuce, all that stuff. Ooh, so good. I still try to recreate it, but I'm not there yet. I'm still a beginner at it, but
You'll get there.
yeah. And then the next question was from Eddie. If you guys had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? And I chose same dish, like my mom's enchiladas.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be my mom's green spaghetti.
What is in
For
this
that one.
green spaghetti?
I have no idea, to be completely honest with you.
It's brain. I'm just kidding.
It's iguana.
Oh no, the iguana blood.
But I don't know. I want to learn how to make it. I think it's really good. And it's supposed to be a lot healthier for you too. And it's a little spicy, which makes it really fire.
Nice. All right. And then last question that we chose was from Alex Hernandez. Would you rather confront someone or just let it go?
Great question.
I like confrontation. And my reasoning behind that is because I just don't have time to beat around the bush, you know, like if we're going to talk something out, there's an issue, we're just going to talk it out in person now, today, you know? So there's no like lingering feeling. Like I've been through that before, you know, and I'm just too grown to be dealing with that and not living just a peaceful life. So confrontation all the way.
I'm still trying to get to that level of confrontation. I don't think I'm able to always be the confrontation type. But I know that's because of like my people pleasing what would that be called? Tendencies, right? And so I'm trying to like be the peacemaker and like peacekeeper and like try to make everybody happy. But like I know, and while doing that, I avoid keeping myself happy, which is confronting the situation. And so like I'm trying to really step into that like role of putting myself first before others,
right?
Because like what you said, like for your happiness, which
right. For your peace of mind,
definitely,
you know. I will say there are some things that are worth letting go when it's truly just not worth your energy. Definitely like just let it go, because I feel like it's just not worth it. But if it's things, if it's people you care about and something that you care about and feel strongly about, go and have the confrontation. If not, if it's something that you can look past, then that's cool too.
And you could look past it because you might think about it and it's actually not that personal as you think it is. Like that person might just have been having a bad day.
Right.
You know?
And that's something I feel like a lot of people forget, that when like people's reactions to things like really doesn't have to do with you most of the time. It has to do with them and their insecurities and then their own feelings and stuff. So that's another thing, just to like not take a lot of things personally, you know, because like you said, you don't know what people are going on on a day-to-day basis that could be affecting the way they react to things.
And this is especially important in driving. Like I try to be very mindful of like when let's say someone cuts me off, right? And like right away my first reaction is like fuck this guy, like what the fuck is wrong with you? But like he did not think of me in that whole exchange of him like merging lanes. Like he's trying to get to wherever, or they're trying to get to wherever they're trying to get to. And they could be like an emergency that I have no idea about. Like this person's family member could be like dying or whatever the situation is, right? And like they're trying to get there and like they didn't mean to disrespect me by cutting me off.
Right.
Like, I'm just assuming that they did that to personally attack me, but it wasn't personal at all.
Right.
And so like if you have bad road rage, like I get you, I completely understand. And then sometimes like people just are stupid drivers. Like I completely get that. There are stupid people out there. But you're able to control like your own emotional reaction to it.
Yep.
Exactly.
And that's also for like your own peace of mind, you know, because I mean, people could be doing that and have their own things, and then you're just like, well, how would I react?
Right.
You know?
Like if you were looking at yourself, right, from a third person perspective, and it's embarrassing. If you were like to look at yourself while you're like having a tantrum, it's very embarrassing.
Oh God.
So
self-awareness.
Yep.
But those were these were some really great questions. Next week, we are going to open up the submissions again for Monday. So definitely be on the lookout if you guys want to ask a question on our Instagram, in our link. You can find the Instagram and you can add yourself to the Discord, you know? And then we have it once a week for a couple hours, and then you can ask whatever questions you want. So hopefully more people get in there and ask their good questions. We like silly ones too, so go ahead. But Yeah, that one was really funny. I think it wasn't that Juanito. I think so. Yeah, dude. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for sticking through with our little mishap we had earlier. But, we really appreciate you guys being here and sticking it out. All right. Thanks, guys.